Embrace the tank. Make them say, na 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 na. Make them say, na 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 na. We rowdy, rowdy, bowdy, bowdy, baby. What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with the sport topic, and today we're gonna talk some football. Houston Texans football. Today I'm gonna talk about the Houston Texans falling. They first lost this season, second game of the year, week 2, falling to the Cleveland Browns. 31-21. And this game is a tale of two halves. It's two different, like if you really be honest, it's two different complete games. It was a game that the injury bug was flying around. Like it was really like they were dropping like flies. It was a weird game to break down, and emotionally, you kind of felt like three different type of emotions. You know, surprise, happy, and sad, and mad, and maybe happy again. You might have, some things that you want to happen might have happened. Some things that you might not want to happen probably did happen. All in all, it ends up with the Houston Texans getting a loss versus the Cleveland Browns. So let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Like I said, the Houston Texans fall to the Cleveland Browns 31-21. And actually, in the beginning of the game, it was a very impressive effort. But Tyrod Taylor was 10 of 11 with a completion percentage of 90.9. Had 125 yards, averaging 11.4 yards per attempt, one touchdown, no sacks, no interceptions, with a quarterback rating of 144.3. And also he rushed for he had one rush for 15 yards and a touchdown that might have came back to bite him because he only played the first half. So those are the first half stats. So in the second half, Davis Mills came in, MVP Mills, he came in. He was 8 of 18 for that was a 44.4 completion percentage, 102 yards, averaging 5.7 yards per attempt, one touchdown, one interception, one sack, which he fumbled. The Texans did recover the ball back, but he did fumble with a quarterback rating of 58.1. Texans could not run the ball today. Mark Ingram had 14 rushes for 41 yards, averaging 2.9 yards per carry, no touchdown. His longest was only 8 yards. David Johnson had 6 carries for 25 yards, and had his longest yards was 8 yards per carry. Philip Lindsay had 5 carries for 2 yards. Brandon Cooks was targeted 13 times, had 9 catches for 79 yards and a touchdown. Andre Roberts was targeted twice for 1 catch. It had a 35-yard catch. Nico was targeted 1 time, had 1 catch for 32 yards. David Johnson targeted twice for 2 catches, 22 yards. Philip Lindsay had 1 catch for 22 yards and a touchdown. Akins was targeted 2 times, had 1 catch for 17 yards. Let's talk about the Cleveland Browns side. Baker Mayfield was 19 of 21. With 90.5 completion percentage, had 213 yards, averaging 10.1 yard per attempt, had 1 touchdown, 1 interception, was sacked twice with a quarterback rating of 105. Nick Chubb had 11 rushes for 95 yards, averaging 8.6 yards per carry with 1 touchdown. Kareem Hunt had 13 carries for 51 yards. Like I said, when Jarvis Landry left the game after I think the first drive, the first play of the game, he left with a concussion. It was just like I said, just an injury-prone game. And like I said, the tale of two halves, because this is exactly what I mean about the tale of two halves. Because in the beginning of the game, not even the beginning of the game, just actually throughout the game, even though the Texans lost by 10, the Texans basically outplayed Cleveland. If I'm going to keep it a buck, I'm going to keep it all the way 100. The Texans outplayed Cleveland basically throughout the game. The one thing they couldn't do, they really couldn't stop the run, and the Texans themselves couldn't run the football. But in saying all that, the Texans really outplayed Cleveland. And from it seemed like from an efficiency standpoint, both Tyrod and Baker Mayfield looked completely efficient in this game, and Tyrod Taylor was basically outplaying Baker in the first half. And if it wasn't for injuries, also what turned the game in the beginning was a muff punt by Andre Roberts. I mean, the Texans defense played well on their first drive. It's probably one of their better drives. They played extremely well on their first drive. They were able to force a 3-and-out. They forced Cleveland to punt, and Andre Roberts muffs the punt. And not only does he muff the punt, once the punt drops, he just jumps over the pile. Doesn't even try to fight for the ball. Even if you don't get the foot, even if you didn't recover the foot, even if you don't recover the football. If you come out the pile when before the referee signals, you could get the ball back because they not down just because they fall on the ball. Don't mean that it's over. Like if you can get there before the referee signals, offense ball or defense ball, you can get the ball back. But no lack of effort in that standpoint. I didn't like that. That was a effort play that you didn't show any effort. It gets Cleveland the short range. They score a touchdown, and then the Texans, on their 2 scoring drives in the first quarter, actually drive and move the ball down the field. They actually look like a legitimate offense. One, Tyrod Taylor was throwing the football a lot. He was throwing the football. Like those 125 yards really came off the first drive. Like the bulk of that came off the first drive. They scored a touchdown. Then Justin Reed, now he went down. He went down twice in this game. But before he went down, he had a forced fumble, and he also had a pick, which also, when he got the pick, it kind of took Baker out for the game. We thought it took Baker out for that play. We thought that Baker might be out for the game, but Baker came back, really didn't miss any snaps. But like I said, Justin Reed has really been playing himself well. You know, had the pick last week, had the forced fumble when the receiver catches the ball, and he comes in and makes an impact play, hits him, makes him lose the football. Then he goes back and gets an interception. So that was great in that standpoint. Like I said, he's trying to get himself some money as a contract year. So I hate the fact that he got hurt. I hate the fact that he got hurt. Like I said, Tyrod Taylor was playing well in that first half, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm firmly in the belief if Tyrod Taylor does not get hurt, I think the Texans win this game. Because to me, the Texans from watching that game, the Texans really did outplay Cleveland. To be honest, the Texans really outplayed Cleveland. What hurt the Texans is the injuries, especially the one to Tyrod Taylor, and then they shoot themselves in the foot. Dumb penalties, dumb mistakes. Like I said, the muff punt. They shot themselves in the foot that basically keep Cleveland around, and then Cleveland just took over because once Davis Mills won the game, it was done in the second half. Cleveland definitely was the better team, but yet still, the the Texans still almost came back and won. Like, okay, so David Mills comes into the game in the second half. On his first drive, he throws a pick. It was a bad throw. And before that pick, he threw a pass. I think it was to Akins. It was it wasn't to. It was either Akins or to Brandon Cooks. I can't remember. But he threw late and behind. That should have been that right there should have been the pick, but it was an incomplete pass. And then he throws the pass to intended for Andre Roberts, and they come up with a pick. Then there was a couple times where he just looked like a complete deer in headlights. They were doing play action, and play action was to the left. He was supposed to do a pump fake to a play action to Phillip Lindsay, and then roll out to his right. He just completely rolled out to his right to do the play action, and Phillip Lindsay's way over here. I think he did it twice, if not 3 times. Like just a blatant, just bad execution on play fakes, on a bad execution on trying to fake the play. And then, like I said, when he tries to throw outside the pocket, he does not look well. He does not have good mechanics. And then he cannot throw a deep pass for nothing. He cannot throw a deep pass for anything. Like he just can't. He can't. He can't throw the ball deep. It was a play he had Brandon Cooks wide open. Man-to-man, wide open. Brandon Cooks is flying down the field. It's a walk-in touchdown. Brandon Cooks was expecting it to come to the outside. He throws it into the inside, far inside, and Brandon Cooks has to turn around and then sees the ball and then goes there, and he just couldn't get it. And there was another one that he had Brandon Cooks up the seam later on in the game that he just threw poorly. He could not throw deep. He just can't. He has a good arm. Oh, he would have had the best arm in this upcoming class. Stop that. Stop all that overhyping him. Like, he could be the next Tom Brady. Stop, bro. Stop. Just because he's a tall quarterback does not mean he's a good quarterback. Because you know why? Brock Osweiler and Ryan Mallett should have showed you that. And that's what he looks like to me. Like, he's just not a good quarterback. He's a combination of Brian Hoyer not Brian Hoyer. He's a combination of Brock Osweiler and Ron Mallett. That's what he is. He doesn't even have the arm. He's tall and has the linkiness, I guess, well, Brock was tall too. So I mean, because Brock was 6'7", something like that, 6'8". But I don't think he's good. I think he's a backup quarterback. That's just what I think, and you could tell because David Culley was extremely upset the whole second half up until he threw that touchdown. Don't try to overhype that touchdown, or the last drive of the game, because the last drive of the game when the Texans still had a chance when they it was a mixed field goal and they could have put the game within 7 with 2 minutes left. They got basically held up on their defense. The defense had some pass interference calls. The defense basically helped them get down the field. Now you can blame Cleveland for allowing the Texans to be. Remember, people was predicting the Texans to be 0-17 and 1-16 and things like that for allowing the Texans to hang around the game, especially with Davis Mills in the game. I understand that, and you can fault Cleveland for that. But even though you can fault Cleveland for that, don't sit up here and overhype Davis Mills like Davis Mills wanted that play. And like I said, I'm actually glad that Davis Mills on the field. I wanted Davis Mills to start. The reason why is because I wanted the Texans to tank. Like I said, embrace the tank. Embrace the tank. Make your draft stock as high as it possibly can. We've seen the situation with Miami. Miami lost Tua. I know last time I checked, either it was down 21-0 or 35-0. It might have been 35-0 when I seen it, but they were getting the brakes beat off them by Buffalo. I think it was 35-0, but let me double check what the final score was just to be on the safe side, because I could just be misreading what I thought I was saying. Yes, 35-0. It was the final score. Don't be surprised. I know people be like, because I know I'm one of the ones that the reason why Deshaun hasn't been suspended or at the very least put on the example is because the Texans don't, the NFL doesn't have to do anything because he's been deactivated every week. He's inactive every week. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins get desperate, because I think that's the reason why the Texans have just basically make them fake an injury and just put them on injury reserve and just be done with them, because I think they're holding out hope that eventually somebody gives them a great deal before the trade deadline. Who knows? Miami might be put in a situation that they might just be like, fuck it. Hey, we'll give you the house. We'll give you the house because we don't want this opportunity passed by. Now, if they do that, and then Deshaun Watson gets put on the exemplars, that's no longer the Texans' problem. If he gets traded to the if he gets traded, as long as they don't put any conditions, and I know, if you're desperate, we're not putting no conditions. If he played this and mess up, nah, we're not about to do that, because we're not about to. Let's trade you to him, and then let Roger Goodell basically dictate what we get from a draft pick situation. No, we ain't about to play. We ain't about to play them games. No, none whatsoever. So it's not gonna be no conditions. Y'all lost your quarterback. Y'all desperate. If y'all want number 4, if y'all want Deshaun, y'all gonna have to give up the farm. Give him up. Give it up. And this could push the Dolphins to do that. Now I know this is unlikely. It could possibly be. I don't know. I'm under the mindset personally that Deshaun won't get traded this season because they don't know, they don't have any clarity on his legal situation. That's just me personally. But I know what the Texans are probably doing. I think that's the reason why the Texans have to just full out put them on some type of, like I said, put them on injury reserve so they just be done with it. They ain't got to worry about it, and they can pick up a roster spot. Because now you need that roster spot. Millard has been hurt, hasn't been active. You got Rex Burkhead, who I believe is wasting the roster spot. That's the person I really believe is wasting the roster spot, because you don't even use Rex Burkhead. They're scared to cut Sky Phillips, but they're not going to play Sky Phillips. They just don't want to lose him because they show he was productive, and they know if he's on the practice squad, somebody else is going to pick him up. I believe that Sky Phillips is going to be inactive every game until there's an injury at the running back position, or until maybe the season's lost and they just go and just throw somebody out there just to be throwing somebody out there. But still, I think that's the reason why they haven't just full-fledged put him on, made him fake an injury, or say he got some type of injury so he can put him on injury reserve, and that way they can get that roster spot back. Because now you might need one. I know they say it's a hamstring injury. If the Texans and us as an organization know anything about hamstrings, if we know anything about hamstrings, those could be week to week, or those could be a season-long injury. And I believe that David Culley and them want to win games. Now maybe Nick Casario does it. Maybe Nick Casario wants to tank. But I think David Culley and those players absolutely, like, players don't tank. Like, there's no such thing as a player tanking. Players go out there to win because they got contracts they fighting for. They playing for their livelihood. They going out there to win. They playing every snap to win. They trying to get money. So they're not tanking. Now the organization as a whole might be tanking. The general manager might be tanking. And if to some degree maybe coaches do tank too if they got job security. But players for sure don't tank. Players don't tank. Unless as fans, we might want them to tank or we might not want to tank. It's kind of split. You know, some Texas fans want them to tank, some Texas fans don't. And that's your business. Whatever it is, you're not wrong in either way you feel. If you want them to win, if you want them to tank, that's how you feel. That's how you feel. But saying all that, they might going to need a roster spot because you're going to have to cut somebody because I'm not saying Driscoll is on the practice squad. He's not on the 53-man roster. So to put him on the 53-man roster, somebody has to get cut. Or somebody has to get put on injured reserve to get a roster spot back. So in that case, Deshaun is taking up a roster spot. And saying that he's going to be taking one up every single week. So that's the reason why keep your eyes and your ears open when it comes to the Miami situation. I wouldn't be surprised if the urgency starts to set in and they make a trade. That's just a sidebar. But back to today's game. Like I said, Davis Mills, just like I said, like his throws weren't good. Like they weren't. Like he can't throw deep. He looked like a deer in headlights. Not yet. He just got thrown into the game. He's a rookie. I understand that. He's gonna get more likely, especially since we play on Thursday. He's gonna get his first start on a national televised game. Prime time, the Texans' only prime time game. Davis Mills is going to get his career start. Who they happened for before? On Thursday night, mind you. Deshaun Watson. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. The same thing, history starting to repeat itself. But at least with Deshaun Watson, when he came in against Jacksonville, who was a better team than this Cleveland Brown team, that Jacksonville defense is way better than this Cleveland Brown defense, Deshaun still showed promise. He didn't look like a deer in headlights. Deshaun still came out there and showed promise in that second half. Davis Mills didn't. Nothing about that. Not even the touchdown. The touchdown, I mean, it was an okay. I ain't gonna lie, act like it was a bad play. It was a good play, but nothing about it. Nothing truly about that second half in any juncture of that game with Davis Mills gives you any real confidence in Davis Mills. If it does, you're one of those fans who everything is unicorns and rainbows, and you see everything through deep steel blue, battle red, and Liberty white glasses. The Texans going to the Super Bowl every year, and this is going to be our season, and give this guy a chance. You living through that prism, and if that's how you live, that's cool. That's cool. Hey, that's you. That's your business. But if you want to be real with yourself, any honesty, any real honest fans out here, nothing about that second half with Davis Mills was impressive. That you can build upon. That you can say, okay, this guy could be a viable NFL quarterback. I'm not even saying superstar Pro Bowl. I'm just saying a viable NFL quarterback. He don't. He look like what he is. Well, I think he is. A backup. I believe he's a backup quarterback. I ain't say he's trash and terrible from a superstar standpoint, but I just think he's a backup quarterback. This is what I believe he is. And he showed that. And the Texans' chances to win basically went down to zero the moment that Tyrod Taylor left the game. And I believe that Tyrod Taylor, if he was in the game, I believe the Texans win because the Texans outplayed Cleveland. They outplayed Cleveland. Part of the reason why you can tell they outplayed Cleveland is because they had a chance to tie the game, or at least make it. They still made the game and had a chance to tie the game even after Nick Chubb basically sealed the game with 3 minutes left. Nick Chubb basically sealed the game, but yet still, with 4 minutes left, but yet still the Texans were still in the game. So I believe if Tyrod Taylor was in this game, the Texans were still, like the Texans win the game. Now the consolation to all this is Jacksonville lost, if I'm not mistaken. The Colts lost. I know the Titans are playing Seattle. Even if the Titans win, the Texans still lead the division because they have a divisional win, and they'll be tied. And if the Titans lose, the Texans still lead the division with a 1-1 record. Now the bad thing about that is, especially if the Titans lose, if you're one of those ones who want the Texans to go to the playoffs and things like that, like the Texans have squandered the opportunity because They could have been up 2-0 while everybody else was down 0-2, and really with a chance on Thursday at home against the Panthers, even though the Panthers won again. I think the Panthers won again today. Oh yeah, they did, because they actually dominated the Saints. With a chance to basically put a stranglehold on this division. Like the Texans could have had a chance to be as bad as we think they were going to be, put a stranglehold on this division. So maybe they're not as deployed of talent as we once thought. And maybe this rebuild, however long it takes, won't take as long as we initially thought if we can get somebody to finally play that quarterback position. And I think Tyrod Taylor is good enough to win you some games. That's the reason why I wanted Davis Mills to play. I want to see definitively who is Davis Mills, who is General Mills, who is MVP Mills, who is this dude? And they also have the audacity to go out there and compare him to both Andrew Luck and John Elway. I know it's a Stanford thing, but stop. Don't do that. That's completely disrespect to both Andrew Luck, especially John Elway, who's a Hall of Famer, multiple Super Bowl quarterback. Stop. Don't do that no more. One, it's too much pressure you're putting on the kid, and two, that's just completely absurd. Don't do that. I know they all went to Stanford, but they ain't the only three quarterbacks. I think they were the only ones who were drafted. But come on now, stop it. Stop. So, like I said, the Houston Texans, they fall to the Cleveland Browns. They played the Carolina Panthers on Thursday night. We're going to see what happened. We're going to see exactly who started. We're going to see if the hamstring injury is better. And if Tyrod Taylor can go, I highly doubt it, though. I think we're going to see Davis Mills with his first career start. And for y'all that wondering out there, this is not a Davis Mills jersey. Y'all know this is Hopkins, but it's still number 10. I just had to play. That had to be funny. But, you know, it's a color rush jersey. So obviously, it's a Hopkins jersey. Don't do that. But like, subscribe if you haven't, comment below if you haven't, click that bell, get more videos. Holla.